pulse of Nigerian politics. My name is Sharon Enemchuku, your host for the show. Joining me live in the studio, I have with me our political analyst in person of Mr. Ugochukwu Afuba. Good morning, how are you doing?
Good morning, I'm doing very well.
Yes, and how are you feeling today?
Feeling great. What about you?
I'm okay, not bad, not bad. Seeing that the PDP has taken its internal shake-up just a step further, and we're going straight to the headlines we have for this morning. Now, although WIKE and several other key figures had already been expelled, the party has now issued fresh expulsion certificates, making it official on paper and tightening its internal restructuring ahead of the 2027 race. Also this morning, President Tinubu has unveiled the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day emblem, accompanied by major donations aimed at supporting veterans and families of fallen heroes. And after that launch, we are seeing the president. He met with service chiefs behind closed doors at Aso Rock, directing them to produce clear, visible results in the battle against insecurity. Now, these are the headlines we'll be looking at. There are a lot of videos online as well, seeing when the service chiefs came to Aso Rock for a closed door meeting. And we also saw before that where the president had a closed door meeting with the chief of staff, who is now has been appointed by the president or nominated by the president as Minister of Defense. And after that, we're just hearing a lot of things, but we'll take it first with the PDP before we touch on what the presidency is cooking up as it regards security. Now, we know that just weeks back, the PDP expelled WIKE, the Federal Capital Territory Minister, from the PDP, and alongside others we had Anyanwu in the picture and about 9 others. But now there's a fresh twist to that update. They've come up to bring out an expulsion certificate, making it official. And I want to get your thought. They say this is all in preparation to the 2027 race, Mr. Ugochukwu. What do you think that they are really serious about getting their business together even before the 2027 results or election, or do you think they should just focus on restructuring their party for now?
Well, I don't know if they are really capable of the 2027 election, but I know that one thing they're doing very well is making sure WIKE and his workers leaves the PDP. You know, bringing out that expulsion certificate, it's a bold move from them. It's them telling WIKE, your time is over and we are serious about it. You understand? Because WIKE and his people, they have been, playing with the PDP, involving themselves in anti-party activities. WIKE, you call yourself a PDP member, but then you sing on your mandate, we shall stand. I mean, how does that make up? It doesn't make any sense. So this bold step by the PDP to eliminate the people who are bringing death into their party is something commendable. And I hope from here on, they will now look into the other internal issues they have in their party. Because expelling WIKE is just the beginning. It's just one of them. They might think that this is all the issues they have, but no, you still have other small things you might consider irrelevant, but it is eating deep also into your party. So when they continue to work on these things, because you know that PDP is a formidable opposition party. Other than it being an opposition party, I think it has been the strongest party we have seen since 1999.
It has.
So I didn't imagine that PDP would get to this position. And also we saw that in Osun State, the governor, Adeleke, that's governor
Ademola Adeleke.
Yes, that he's not going to run on PDP ticket for the election 2026.
He's running. He has resigned.
Yes, so I mean that's another blow to the PDP. It means WIKE is not just their problem. They also have internal crises that they need to resolve.
But apart from the fact that they have internal crisis, and also yesterday we talked about that before Governor Ademola Adeleke's resignation from the PDP, he had some back and forth with the federal government when it concerned federal government allocations, and local government allocations and all of that. They were in court for quite a while, and I was just asking, I had the conversation with the likes of Mr. Daniel and Ifeoma Oji as well, if they thought that the opposition party, which is the ruling party, APC, sort of frustrated Ademola Adeleke into moving to APC, although he hasn't officially announced that yet, but we can already guess where he's going to.
I'm sorry, but I didn't guess he was going to the APC. I think he's going to run on the Accord Party. I think that's what I've been seeing online.
Okay, you think he's going to run on the Accord Party?
Yes, I think I saw that from WIKE's Larry Olainka. But well, he has not officially revealed the party he will be running on. But then, from the issues he has had with the federal government in the past, it's obvious they are badgering him into joining the center. Because we've seen him as not necessarily strong opposition, but retaining his stance that he is not joining the APC. I think that frustrated him. The way the federal government, they by all means, they want all the members of the opposition to join them, and this is all towards the bid for 2027. All road leads to 2027. I've said that before.
But Mr. Ogochukwu, is it that without everybody pertaining to the APC, that it is going to be impossible for the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to win the election? Must everybody become a member? Can you not support him? Can he not get their support while they are still at the party? What really do you think is the bigger picture with everybody moving to the APC?
Everybody moving to the APC makes it much easier, not because if they are in their party that they can't support him, but you still see people who will be, arguing that some of those party members who are supporting the APC, that they're engaging in things like anti-party activities, being in a particular political party, and still
like what WIKE did.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it would be better for them. They don't want any opposition at all. They want it to be
a landslide victory.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And this is Nigeria. And I wanted to say something about this WIKE issue now, how it's happening. I don't know, WIKE has not even officially joined the APC yet.
He hasn't.
He's still, masquerading up around like a PDP. Right now, I think I would say he's in political limbo, because he does not belong at any place.
Yes,
right,
he doesn't really. And it is interesting to see the sort of game that WIKE has played ever since he joined politics, becoming governor of Rivers State, the battle he's had with Fubara, the backing he's had from the federal government, and also becoming the FCT minister, and just trying to establish his presence in the PDP. WIKE has really played the politics game here in Nigeria, and talking about his expulsion. Now, I think I'm just asking, right? Do you think as well that the PDP coming out to give an expulsion certificate, even though just weeks ago we heard that they expelled him at the national convention that was held in Ibadan? After that went out, right? Coming out to give him an expulsion certificate. Now, do you think that they did that in order to avoid legal battles?
That's part of it. But I think that they are rather showing how serious they are with this decision of expelling WIKE from the party, because we know so much harm WIKE have caused them. While saying that he's the FCT minister, using that influence instead of growing the party he is in, because the aim of a political party is simply to run election and win. So exactly. you cannot be in a party and you are supporting a different political party, or it does not make sense. And I think this is just the Tinubu administration that are just using WIKE to rest the PDP for good. I think that is it, because we've seen that in different political parties, even the coalition, immediately they announced using ADC as the coalition party. The next week we saw them having leadership problems, saying the old leadership going to court. It's clear, maybe some of you are not seeing it, but it's crystal clear to me. This is all coming from the center, that the people who are, check all the political parties now, apart from the ruling APC, they are having one issue or the other. Even the Labour Party, we have the Abro-led faction, we have the senator, the female senator who is leading the other this is just...
So would you say now that the APC has succeeded in its agenda to turn the opposition to allies?
So far, so good. They are doing well. They are doing well at whatever it is they are doing. Because as at today, I would say we don't have a formidable opposition. We don't have right now. Maybe they're still building up, but right now we don't have. Even though that Atiku's moved, I saw he formally joined the African Democratic Congress. Well, that's a bold move.
Yes.
It's a big catch for the ADC. But it's not just him. If they call it a coalition, it indeed needs to be a coalition. It needs to reflect what a coalition looks like.
Yeah.
Like that of the APC in 2014 and 2015. We saw a coalition, not what we are seeing now. We are seeing leadership.
Still talking about coalition and opposition and just having a united front, we really have to also give it to the ruling party. They stood their ground.
Indeed.
and they ensured that they had that collaboration with the right people at all costs. Now, talking about Atiku, I really want to talk about that briefly. The fact that he has moved to the ADC now, and we know when we're talking opposition, of course we talk Atiku Abubakar, but also Mr. Peter Obi. And a lot of people have, because of Mr. Chidi, Atiku's ambition to become president of Nigeria, also Mr. Peter Obi as well has come out as well to say that he would be running for presidency. And now, trying to get a united front, what do you think, how would it affect the political space in Nigeria if we see a Peter Obi Atiku collaboration?
Well, that is a dicey one, and honestly, that would be the best thing that I would see.
The best thing after sliced bread this year.
Honestly, I've seen some obedience coming out to tell Atiku to run as a vice president to Peter Obi. And first, I want to say that constitutionally, it is not possible because Atiku has been sworn in twice as the vice president. So constitutionally, he cannot run again as a vice president. But then, talking about him running as a president, by 2027, Atiku will be 81 years old. Is that not something we need to look at? Because we've seen Nigeria criticize other African countries. I think we saw the one of, what country is that again? Cameroon, of the old man. I mean, these people, they should give chance for the younger people who have better mind and, they have better things to offer Nigerians. But then at the same time, I don't think Peter Obi will run as a vice to Atiku because, we are all humans. I think ambition now is taking its place. He has, for someone who was not previously in the national political space, to come out to run for president with a party that does not have any structure, to pull over 6 million votes. I mean, I give it to him for that. And if it were me, come on, I cannot afford to run as a vice president.
When you know the potential, exactly. I think I get what you're saying, especially when you know the potentials. You've tried it before, you've tested the waters, you've got results. So the next thing I think for Mr. Peter Obi on his plate now would be to double what he got in 2023. Now, moving on, yesterday as well, we talked about the armed forces for a little. The fact that we saw the resignation of the Minister of Defense, who is the former governor of Jigawa State, and shortly before that, we saw a closed-door meeting with the ex-chief of staff, right? And now he has been nominated by Tinubu to become the Minister of Defense. After that, we had a discussion on here about the state of emergency that the president called on our security institutions and the moves that we want him to be making. Now, for the second story, we're also seeing that Tinubu has come out to unveil the 2026 Armed Forces emblem. Now, it's just really about the fact that he wants to use this as a medium to appreciate and support our military, right? Those who have fallen and the rest, because we had the discussion about the Brigadier General who died, but we really heard little or nothing about what was done, to just commemorate his contributions and just keep his name alive even after he's gone. So let's talk a little about that. What do you make of that move, Ugo?
Well, I would like to borrow a word from Ifoma now, and she always says that this government, they have always been reactive rather than proactive. You know, we are practicing a democracy, so comparison is something I and we cannot stop doing, because we are practicing a democracy. In the United States, just I think it was about last week or 2 weeks ago, we saw a federal officer who was shot close to the Capitol in Washington, D.C. And they were two of them, I think a male and a female. So, and after some days, after they fought for their lives in the hospital, one of them died, and we saw the President of the United States, Donald Trump, come out to address this issue, to sympathize with the family of the officer who lost their life.
Yeah.
Now let's come over to Nigeria. In stark contrast, a brigadier general lost his life not just to any gunmen but to bandits who kidnapped him, and after he was not rescued but he escaped, trying to contact the army, he was still recaptured again by these bandits who gruesomely murdered him.
Yes. And
we didn't even see a statement from the president, but every day someone from their party celebrates his or her birthday. The presidency issues a goodwill message to them, someone who is just a political ally. But now we have good men and women who serve our country, who are in the battlefield, who face these terrorists, these people who are causing so much mayhem in our country. And just weeks after there is pressure from the citizens, you now want to commemorate our heroes. Well, for the fact that he's still doing it now, I would not deny that it is something good. You know, we need to appreciate these men, because the work they are doing, it is not something easy. I cannot imagine going to put my life in the line for a few people who are ingrates. I don't know if
I get what you're saying.
It is something commendable, but
it is very commendable, but coming late. And I think that like I said earlier, just yesterday as well, the fact that we need to see or hear threats from the United States president to sit up and start doing what we're supposed to do. I mean, this is almost 3 years into the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and personally I feel most of these changes that he's trying to make should have been his top priority when he came into office. Within 100 days in office, these are the things we really were looking forward to, but we didn't get that. Now, just towards the end of his first tenure, we are seeing him making all of these moves, and it just begs the question, how far can you go when playing politics? Would you risk the lives of people that you've come out to save just to, be re-elected? Because just in the past, when we talk about politics and how politics is being played in Nigeria, we know that they would normally use projects, right, where when it's getting to the end of your term, maybe the first term, to start up new projects.
So that prefer you doing projects.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. In comparison to that, it makes even better. I think it's better than using the lives of people. People die in the blood of Nigerians to sort of approve or to stampede on your re-election as president. And I think this is where a lot of Nigerians are finding it difficult to comprehend now when it concerns Mr. President's leadership. Before now, during his campaign, before he came into power, they called him a master strategist, right? And I just wanted to compare this particular administration just to the former administration as well. We remember that the Buhari-led administration, they came and they told us to be very patient, that the president is on top of things, he would get it sorted, insecurity, economic hardship. But if you look at as well what is happening now, they've come out to tell us, especially with the reforms they are making economically, that it would be painful for now, but we'll see the benefits going forward.
It's almost the end of his term. How long are we to wait again? I mean,
the question is how long, really?
How long? Because you can't tell me that in the long run, and we are not seeing any results. I mean, the reforms we had, they told us to believe in them, and some people did. I did not, because I knew they didn't really have anything to offer. And now it's less than 16 months to election, and we have not seen any tangible result. Every day they come out to tell us about GDP, about how does that reflect in the life of a common Nigerian? These are for businessmen who receive huge amounts of money. Congrats to them, great for them. But then the average Nigerian, because if we even want to go past statistics, the average Nigerian cannot afford a 3 square meal. That is reality. So For you to tell me about GDP bullshit, it does not make any sense. We live in a country where to cater for yourself is a difficulty. But one thing that still that still baffles me is how these same people, the same Nigerians who are finding it hard to feed themselves, by 2027 they now go out again to cheer up and support this administration that has completely offered nothing for how much? At most 100,000 naira. That's in less than 1 month. Considering the economic situation of this country, it would exhaust. You must have used the money by then. So I don't know. This administration, they have failed us. They talked about their economic reforms and all of that. This is 3 years into the administration. We have not seen any result. And then security-wise, we don't even need to talk about security infrastructure because they have failed completely at that particular
All right.
place.
Now talking about just finally on this, what are your expectations when it concerns this new move that the president has come out to make when it concerns really respecting, honoring the lives of our military, giving up their lives to secure the nation?
Like I said earlier, this is something that is very, very commendable because these people always put their lives at stake for the whole Nigerians, even the heads of the states, the president, the governors. We are supposed to be proud of them. When we go to other countries, I'll keep using the United States as an example because I think they're a country that are practicing true democracy. The army, the military, they are the people who protect our territorial sovereignty and dignity of our country. Because if we are continuously invaded by terrorists and bandits, it simply means one thing, that we are not sovereign, that our military, they are not working. And even though it might be from the head, that's the head of the military, there are these people who are at the front line. We need to give their flowers to them because they have been doing so good so far, and most of them have lost their lives in battle. And my heart goes out to the families and relatives of these people because they are also human beings. Before being military men or members of the military, they were first human beings. They have lives as well. So it is something very good for one to come out and say that I want to serve my country. We should honor the people who do these things.
Okay. All right.
We
should, and I like the fact that we've already started making moves towards doing that. And also we saw that the president had a closed door meeting as well with service chiefs earlier on as well. And this closed door meeting with service chiefs we saw before, when he appointed new service chiefs as well. Let's talk a little about that as well. The fact that we have just different changes, different things happening when it concerns security. But this new service chiefs, what do you think personally for your expectations for them?
Well, I think I've learned one thing from Nigeria, that we should reduce our expectations to zero.
Wow.
Honestly, I've learned that.
We should reduce our expectations to zero.
Because it's whenever we increase our expectations, we have high expectations of these people, they always mess us up. We saw that from Buhari, we saw that in Tinubu, who said that he's a master strategist, and my expectations were high. Let's see what he has to offer. And I mean, he crushed it completely because this is 3 years in. So for these service chiefs, I wish them well, because if they do well, Nigeria is doing well, my country is doing well. So that I'm reducing my expectations to zero does not necessarily mean that I do not want the best for them. I mean, Nigeria is our country. Nobody will fix it for us.
Nobody.
We will have to fix our country by ourselves. So for this meeting they're doing, I hope it is something that is meaningful. They're not just trying to get photo ops and trying to say they are doing well all to a political circles, so just so they could win re-election by 2027, because it seems as though everything for them now
is just
geared towards 2027.
But there have also been challenges as well. But for this new service chiefs, what do you think might be some of the limitations that they might face? I know you are not a service chief, you do not have access to that information, but just going off of what we know about what has been going on, what has plagued us as a nation security-wise, and the structure of things, what do you think might be some of the limitations that they might face going forward?
What I think as a Nigerian is that political tension always is a barrier for them in carrying out their duties.
Okay.
That is one thing as a Nigerian. I know it, whether it's classified or declassified. You know, these people sometimes they I don't know if they think we are sensible or they don't think we do not understand what is happening, because some of these insecurity issues we have, some of them has a political undertone to it. In some government they just prefer to, you know, let's not solve this issue because
somebody is benefiting.
Exactly. We also saw I can't remember the particular state where they said that the military withdrew from the Kebbi state, where they said that the military withdrew from the scene of the attack just a few minutes before it eventually happened. You know, that's why did they
who gave the order?
Because they listened to orders, and ordinarily they would have been there. So that's one thing. Political tension and instability will be the I think the biggest issue hurdle they will face there in serving our country.
Meaning that for them to really overshadow or to overcome that, they need a sort of independence, right?
They need to be politically neutral. That's just the truth, because if there is any form of political affiliation whatsoever, it will be difficult for them to
carry out their duties. Yes. And also, how important do you think is intelligence gathering? Not just intelligence gathering for them, but also intelligence protection, because we saw the what happened with the brigadier, right, where we thought he was going to be saved, and we saw the military, we thought they were on top of things, but somehow that information got leaked. And also from the type of news that we hear, it seems as though there is a mole within the military. So let's talk a little about, you know, intelligence protection here.
Yes, that is where we need to have. That is why we need to have competent people in the job, people who know what they are doing, who have first-hand experience in these things, because security is a very sensitive matter in a country. I mean, it should be priority. So all these issues, if we have competent people there who are able to fish out the bad eggs or the rotten eggs in the operation, I mean, things will be going smoothly. And it is very, very important. Things as sensitive as security should be, matters pertaining to that should be highly classified. It's not something anybody gets into his hand, particularly the bandits. I mean, how did they get that information? How did they get his location? This whole thing is so blurry, it's vague, it's not clear, and these people, they are just playing with the minds of Nigerians. I mean, they see us to be gullible. I do not want to be a conspiracy theorist, but these things are not clear to us. To come out and give us clear answers and uphold the integrity and sovereignty of our nation.
Now, also on the service chiefs, the other day we saw an order from the presidency coming out to order 100,000 police officers to be withdrawn from VIPs and people of interest in Nigeria, so that they can go and protect the lives of Nigerians outside. And after that, we have not seen really any enforcement to that order. We are still seeing VIPs moving around with their police escort. So let's talk about enforcement. Even with this new service chiefs, we really don't know any accountability mechanism, or we've not been given that opportunity or platform to say, okay, yes, hold these people accountable if they don't do so and so. We've not seen that. So let's talk about holding the service chiefs accountable, especially when a crisis arises.
How can Nigerians do that, even if they do, what will be done about it? I think yesterday I talked about, this is not the first, the president said that, I think the IGP said that if we see any policeman moving with VIPs,
yes,
we should report.
I think that came from the presidency as well. Yes.
Okay, and I'm just saying it here that we have many report channels. We have the ombudsman, we have the civil operation reports where we lay complaints, even the public service complaints, and people have been laying complaints there, even in the police as well, issues of police brutality. And my question is, what has been done about those things? And the service chiefs, those ones seem completely out of reach. I do not know how ordinary Nigerians can hold them accountable, other than the media that we have been using so far, and we must continue utilizing the media that we have. I think that's the best channel, because we've seen that sometimes when we pressure this government, they become reactive, even though that is not what it is supposed to be. But I mean,
that's the crumbs that we have.
We will have to use it judiciously. And for the police withdrawal of police protection from VIPs, I've said it before, that is just an instruction for the media, which will also end in the media. I think maybe the president made that statement to show that he's doing something, but I do not see how possible that is. But also they might also want to use this for to also play politics. I think I was seeing a video where Atiku attended a conference and he made mention of the withdrawing of police protection from VIPs, and I think he was saying that his police protection has been withdrawn, but the constitution provides that a former vice president or president, they have permanent protection. So this could also be them playing politics. People who do not pose a threat to their political ambition might feel relaxed about it, but the main opposition figures, they might try to.
That's an interesting point you just raised. The fact that this could also be a tool for political game and struggle for power, withdrawing police, especially if they focus on opposition, that would be an interesting twist. But that's something we're not hoping for. We hope that this order affects every single VIP, not just the opposition, not just the people who are not in the APC. I think going forward, we'll get more updates on exactly how all of this unfolds when it concerns security and insecurity, because at the long run, you can't hide the matter of security. It would always come forth and expose itself because it involves the lives of people. But this is where we're calling it a wrap on the show. Thank you very much, Mr. Ugochukwu Afuba, for joining me on the conversation today. It was a pleasure. And to our viewers, if you're watching for the first time, thank you again. And this is Morning Pulse, the pulse of Nigerian politics. If you're also yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please endeavor to do that and follow us across all social media at Active Citizens. You can find me as well across all media at Sharon Enemchukwu and you, Ugochukwu.
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Ugochukwu Afuba.
All right, we'll come your way later today. Do have a great morning.
Muy bien, estoy bastante seguro de que todos habrán visto las noticias de que el presidente Bahameu ha nominado al ex que ocupaba antes. Lo acaban de destituir. Misteriosamente, nadie sabía por qué lo habían destituido. Así que ahora el presidente Bahameu se ha reunido con él y lo ha 15. Fue cuando ocurrió esto. Así que el día 15 por la mañana, cuando escuché la noticia, fui a Yellow Water. Cuando llegué a Yellow Water, me di cuenta de que nuestros medios no iban a ir allí a cubrirlo. No, el ataque ocurrió el día 13.